Okay, hello and welcome. This is going to be my first YouTube video without a stream attached to it. I tried to stream this game the other day, but I was just not having any fun with it. So, we're going to be doing a video instead because I really want to share this game. It's one of my favorite TCGs and I just really want to go with it, you know? Anyways, this is Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. Is a digital trading card game that I spent a lot more time with the original one, and I've been on and off with this one so far, but I really want to get back into it. So, just to show off some things, and please excuse any lag or video quality problems and that. I am recording this on a much weaker device than I normally would do for my streams. Anyways, just like in most Yu-Gi-Oh games, specifically Master Duel, you can have a plethora of decks. I have quite a handful. For this stuff, we will be focusing on this one, my Portal Craft deck. I'll go over some more stuff about it a little later. But I'll show you what I have by viewing the deck. So my Portalcraft deck focuses around something called artifacts. If I were to go here to this follower, as we call them, you can see they have a class, which is Portalcraft. This is their effect. Because this is a digital trading card game, the physical card itself just focuses on showing you the art, while the effect is attached to it by, we'll say like a string. But the physical card game, Shadowverse Evolved, yes, has all the effects written on it, but give or take some changes for physical players. But yes, this is Elsie, Electrifying Inventor. As you can see, she has an ability called Lost Words, which is a keyword here. And it reads, so Lost Word triggers when the follower, its defense reaches 0 and is destroyed. So, Elsie's Lost Word is I'm allowed to add a Gear of Remembrance to my hand. Which is important, because that's the whole point of this deck. What it does, it adds this nifty little card to my hand. Now, the reason it's a different shape is because this is a different type of card. This is called an amulet card. Amulets are cards you put up that mainly do like on-field effects. Now, with this one, it has this ability called Fuse. So the way that one works is that when you've got this card in your hand, you press the Fuse ability that will come up in the corner. And then you can fuse other artifact cards with it, which is signified by right here, under its trait. So this card has the artifact trait. But you notice how it can't be played. So when you fuse it with another artifact card, you can transform this Gear Remembrance into a Fortifier artifact. Yay! Now we have more fusion effects. This one is based off of the cost of a card you fuse onto, which is signified by this green circle right up here. And I think that's a good way to kind of remember it. Note, when you fuse a card, it doesn't have to be just one card. You're allowed to use multiple. So, if we use one, we get an ominous artifact A, I think that's Alpha. And then we get, if we have two, again, 2 for the cost, you can use 2 level 1 guys. You get an ominous artifact, I think that's Beta. And then if you use 3 or more points, you get an ominous artifact, what is that one? Is it Gamma? I think it's Gamma. But yeah, which makes these next ones, the ominous artifacts. Now, Ominous Artifact Alpha is the only one with a fuse effect. But you need the other 2 to do it to form Masterwork Artifact Omega. That one I know because of Pokemon. and when you fuse them all together, even just by looking at it, you can probably already tell. These guys, they become a big robot. Yay! We love big robots here. But yes, this is Masterwork Artifact Omega. Over here is his effect. Fanfare is an effect that triggers when the card is played. As you can see over here, you need 10 points to play him. I'll show you how to play a match in a little bit. But we got some other cool effects that I'm happy to explain, but if you ever play it yourself, you can also check them by clicking on the word and it gives you a description. Isn't that fun? Storm. So normally, when a follower is played, they can't attack unless they have one of two abilities. The first one, we're going to talk about because it's right here, is Storm! It allows the follower to attack the same turn it enters the field. Pretty simple. Now, you have two attack targets. You attack your enemy leader, which is the player, or enemy followers, which are their guys. The second ability is called Rush. Rush, while still allowing you to attack, you can only target enemy followers. But after that first turn, you're allowed to attack whoever. Next up is the ability Ward. This prevents enemies followers from attacking your leader, as long as you have a guy with Ward on the field. So as long as you have Ward on the field, they have to get through your Ward before they can get to you. The next one is called Aura. This prevents this follower from being selected by abilities. So, in Shadowverse, you have spells that can, like, debuff cards or destroy them. Aura stops him from being targeted. So, that's cool. But yeah, this is the rest of my deck. And it's pretty nifty. We got some... So, all my cards focus on adding one of two gears. The Gear of Remembrance, which we've already seen. But the other one is Gear of Ambition, which is red. Now, the next stage is something that you haven't seen, but afterwards it pretty much just goes back to the other ominous artifacts. This is a Striker artifact. As you can see, he's got the ability Rush. So isn't that cool? So, the whole point of my deck is to try and build up to a big super robot with cards like this guy, Karula, who's allowed to summon copies of artifacts in my hand. So this allows me to utilize their effects without actually having to play them. And we also got this. Virtually the same thing, but she's allowed 3. But everything else is about adding in, except this card. This is Yudi, Maiden Reborn. So, simple fanfare, draw a card, it's nice and simple. But yeah. But then she gives you a crest. A crest is an ability that gets placed onto you after you meet the requirement. So for this one, it's to evolve this follower. More stuff I will show you later. Then we have the countdown ability, so that's how long it will last for each turn. And then yeah, the effect following. But I think now that I've basically explained the deck, why don't we jump into a match? I'm not really gonna get the real person because I kinda want this just to be a simple little introduction. So we'll select the CPU deck, and we won't go to anything too crazy, so we'll just go with Beginner Portal Craft. And after I do this match, I will show you the other classes. So we'll go here. If anybody is wondering why I have a different guy and whatnot, it's because I have spent money to get what is called leaders. These guys are the representation of you. So this was the Portalcraft representative back in the first game, Shadowverse. While this character over here is the character that represents Portalcraft in Worlds Beyond. So, with that now, let's... Excuse me. We're just going to use a simpler field because it's more processing power for my laptop here to focus on the game. Still nice though. The turn order is selected by random. There's no way I can interfere or change with that. So, yeah. See, that's my little icon down there. Oop. There we go. Just give me a second.
Justice for all the dimensions.
We have much to discuss.
So, at the start of the game, you're given a hand. At any point you are here, you are allowed to exchange cards. We'll exchange these two. So they return to the deck, and I get 2 new cards. So 3 good ones too. So I'm going
My
second
name is
in this
Drytzen,
game, which means I'm allowed to get an additional play point at some point. I could use it right now, but I don't want to. We're going to start simple with an artifact recharge. Which adds these 2 to my hand. Yippee! And then I will demonstrate a fusion. Now we have my striker artifact. Yay! So, we're already off to a good start. Photocraft is a deck made for people who want to play the patient.
Excuse me.
Ooh, they're playing Puppets, which is the second strategy that was part of the initial launch of Portalcraft. Mainly, it's pretty much a beat-down deck. Keep your opponent's board clear. So what we'll do now is we'll play this Ironheart Hunter.
Only ransom I take is
She's
blood.
played. Cool. Gear of Ambition to my head. We go over to Striker. Grab Gear of Ambition. We have the first piece to make our Master Artifact. Isn't that good? Now, we got nothing left. As you can see, she's also got an evolved effect, which you can see down here, which are represented by these little crystals over here. Now, it's important to note, this is normal evolve, which is the yellow one. This is super evolve. Any evolve effect will trigger for super evolve, but no super evolve effect will trigger for an evolve. Important to keep that in mind.
I swear by this very sword!
Never forgive.
Now, the cool thing about puppets is I don't actually really have to worry about this guy. We'll play this.
I'm armed for a freaking circus.
There she is. So, can't really do much else with her right now. So, we're just gonna have to end the turn there. Puppets have the effect at the end of their opponent's turn. They're destroyed.
Wasn't my fault.
There we go.
Major
There we go.
bummer.
That's the ward effect in play. Look, Goliath. Right. This is now a good time to demonstrate some stuff. So I'm allowed to evolve.
I'll be your mentor.
So we'll play Yuri. She lets me draw a card. Click on her. And I evolve her.
Activate! Enhance! Fire!
There we go.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
And now, because I've evolved, it gives her the ability Rush virtually. So, while I contact the enemy leader,
My
I
pleasure.
can get rid of this guy with Ward.
Strong!
We'll play this. And then we'll play this.
Come on, squad! Roll out!
Yeah.
Ha! It just wasn't enough.
Trajectory. Calculated.
See you tomorrow.
Yes. Evolve has plenty of effects that can be played. This. to end the turn there. So, yeah, now that its turn has gone by, this guy is allowed to attack me straight on. Which is not the best! But, we don't have much of another option except take the attack. So, what we're going to do... Pretty Cannoneer. Keith will activate the fuse effect. Choose these two, which go into B, which gives us a good old way to go. Boom. Now we can just get two of the bigger artifacts. Pretty good. There to do, so we'll end our turn. And now, as you can see, I can super evolve.
I'm armed for a freaking circus.
This might hurt.
Oh, what's going to begin right now? So super evolve, as pulse is just giving me additional strength. When it attacks, you won't receive any splash damage and deal 1
Give up
damage
while
to
you
the
still
opponent
can.
as long as they are stronger. So, we're in a bit of a pickle. But, figure it out. Ooh. Check this out for what I do.
The curious artificer dons their mask.
Fuse. Now, I think it's time to use our clue.
Fate is in our hands.
You cannot stop me.
This guy. Oh,
Such craftsmanship.
bada boom.
Impressive.
Music is the sound of light.
Looking for a spark of inspiration.
In the name of hope.
Inventor's cap on. Right in the kisser.
This burden is mine to bear.
I'll be completely honest. Probably not gonna win this because I've been trying to focus on just explaining stuff. But yeah. Generous. It is fun. Let's hope the
I'll be
CPU
your mentor.
be kind to us. I don't think it will because I'm pretty sure it just focuses on joining.
I have no regrets.
See you tomorrow.
I swear
that
by this
also
very
good for
sword.
us.
Dude, watch the thingamajigs!
Okay. But this we're allowed to play.
Path 3-2 extinction.
Major bummer.
Activate. Enhance. Fire.
Embrace the miracle of creation. The Great Purge.
There we go. Now I have my own water on field, and I can't use cards to destroy.
I don't miss.
This, though, unfortunately, will kill me.
None will survive.
This loss will fuel me.
Anyways, that's all the basic playing and such. But, of course, that was only one type of deck you can have. Shadowverse Worlds Beyond allows you to have a selection of decks, as long as they meet the criteria of following a class, which we'll have a look at. So, Forestcraft. It's probably more sense by
Come,
fine.
prove your worth.
I'll show you the starting lineup, which is not you.
Judgment falls, as does my blade.
She's French. She's cool. Right, so we come over here. New deck. Boom. Got all the classes. These are your starting leaders. We'll go over each of them. So for Forestcraft, we have Love Sign. Forestcraft is a technical playstyle for flexible toolkits. Adds low-cost tokens to your hands to help activate combos, abilities. Powerful effects unleash after several cards have been played in one turn. So yeah, pretty much just the best summary of it there. For an example, this Forestcraft, their main token is fairies. I'm pretty sure they're now treated as 1-cost, 1/1 creatures with rush. Just super cheap stuff. Basically, the more cards you play in a turn, the better the effects you're going to get. So you want to have like big hands and a bunch of little dudes. Swordcraft. This is Mari. Oh god, I know I'm going to say that last name wrong, but we'll give it a go. Mari Malissi. I am sorry for anyone who I may offend with that. But anyways, Swordcraft focuses on summoning multiple followers in order to overrun the opponent. It's a simple playstyle to help beginners learn the basics of Shadowverse, while its various follower buffing abilities pave the way to masterful strategy. So yes, this is the standard anyone can play this, but not everyone can master it type of deck. In Worlds Beyond, actually, I've had a lot of success with Swordcraft. Yay! It's very cool, very fun. A lot of my guys focuses on summoning other cards with the officer trait. Just a little token dudes there. They're not too big or anything. But I get some crazy effects, like I can deal damage, or I give them abilities. It's cool. Okay. This is where we start getting tricky, because this is Rune. This one has 2 abilities. So this is Kaori, Yuhara. Which is cool. So if you, less orthodox and all that. Runecraft has an arsenal of non-follower cards. play spells to power on spell boost abilities, or build a stack of Earth Sigil amulets to spend for Earthright abilities. Okay. I can explain this one very thematically. Spell boost. Think of those of all like your spell books and such. Wizards, Harry Potter style with wands and such. Basically, you want to play a bunch of spell cards just to kind of like boost up this number for cards in your hands. It could be as in dealing more damage because it's a spell, or it becomes cheaper. There's a couple of stuff like that. Pretty cool. Spell boost is pretty cool, but I actually prefer Earthright, which is Alchemist, Full Metal Hood, brother. Full Metal Alchemist. Think of stuff like that. Yeah. So Earth Sigils are amulet cards that you place on the field, and in Shadowverse Worlds Beyond, unlike the original game, they all have this stack ability, which is great. Basically why that's important is because back in Shadowverse 1, we didn't have the stack ability to start off with. So you would have to force your field to fill up with these amulets. Note that you only have 5 zones you can play. Spells don't take up a zone, you just play them from the hand and then they go to the discard pile. Followers go on the field, and amulets go on the field. So, but what fixes that is the ability stack. So while you have a Earth Sigil with stack on the field, instead of covering a bunch of stuff, all your Earth Sigils will just go into that one card, and it'll just pile on, placing them on top of each other. It's great. It's so good. But yeah, you pretty much like use a number of those to activate effects. Like, I don't know, I use 3 to draw a card if I play a follower that uses Earth Sigil. Now, we'll come into what is maybe my favorite class, Dragoncraft. This is Galen, or Galan, as I've come to figure out. Dragoncraft has a tool of has tools to gain extra play points. If you like tearing down opponents with big flashy cards, ramp your way up to 7 play points to unlock Overflow. Okay, so as you saw, every turn I got more play points. Dragoncraft says, screw that rule, I'm going to play a card that allows me to get more play points. While a bit more expensive than what it was back in the original game, still really good. Now, Overflow is when you get to 7 play points, and yes, it's tied to play points, not turns. Cards will gain abilities, like some will gain Storm, some will power up others. It's amazing. It's awesome. Now, this is Abysscraft. This one's all about sacrificial offerings. So this is Dio. He's a big demon dude. Okay, sacrifice resources to power with dark and manufacture cards of Abysscraft. Use shadows to destroy cards. Use shadows of destroyed cards to full necromancy and resurrect them with reanimate to bury foes. Right. So necromancy is another. It's kind of like using stuff from your graveyard, or if you have a number of stuff in your graveyard. Yeah, because in the physical card games, it's tied to how many followers are in your graveyard. But in this one, because it's a digital one, we can be a little more zany with it. Whenever a creature dies, it goes to the graveyard. So for Abysscraft, that would give you what's called a shadow. Basically, you can use that number of shadows. There's no pile or anything, it's just something like keep track down the corner. So, yeah, it's pretty much a big zany way to get some crazy powerful effects. Shadowcraft, I'll explain that in a second, was like a big problem back in Shadowverse 1. Not a problem as in like, ooh, it broke the meta, it was more of just like, it was one of the toughest decks. Now, Abysscraft, once upon a time, was 2 different classes, that being Bloodcraft and Shadowcraft. Shadowcraft has kind of taken the lead here in this playstyle. of using shadows. Bloodcraft was more about sacrificing your health. Their first ability, Vengeance, would give your card powerful effects, kind of similar to Overflow, but instead of being tied to 7 play points, it's once your max defense, or your HP, reached about the halfway point, or, well, yeah. But there were also cards that would set you to 10, which would also activate Vengeance. So, yeah. But yeah, those two got fused into Abysscraft, with Shadowverse more taking Helm. But there is still some life-sacrificing abilities. Granted, I wish they would do more with it. Next up, Havencraft. This is the one for the players who really like to make games drag out. Havencraft's specialty is steady control, with options to banish opponents' followers and heal your leader. Use amulets with countdown and engage abilities to strategically to keep matches in your favor. Right, so this one focuses on really liking using amulets. Now, countdown stuff is basically how many turns pass before the amulet destroys itself, activating its effects. So yes, they have like lost words. It's cool. Well, most of them do. Some of them could summon guys, some of them could like, I don't know, depending on the countdown, like if you have one that costs like 10 or whatever, they could just destroy the whole field. It's crazy. Granted, I don't know if that's an actual card in this one yet, but basically what countdown does. Now, Engage is something that was added for Worlds Beyond. When you play it, you can choose to sacrifice it yourself by paying any additional cost that it states on the card to get still pretty powerful effects. Not as powerful as the countdown stuff, but they're alright. They're pretty good. But yeah, also a lot of healing in this one. And, yeah, the leader is Esperanza. She's pretty cool. And Portercraft, which was what you saw me play before, with Dryzen as the leader here. Portercraft is for the players who like to experiment with interactions between cards, skillfully manipulating your cards while producing tokens and exact copies to further augment your rank is key to mastering this class. So this one's a very technical one. This one is probably, I'd probably say it's one of the hardest to master, in my personal opinion. Not even to master, to kind of play. Because for me personally, the hardest ones to play are Portalcraft and Forestcraft. Only difference is, I was stubborn and I forced myself to play this one, so I got a bit more used to it. Though I'm a Dragoncraft player through and through. So, as you saw with this one, it really wants me to kind of like manipulate my hand, so I have like these big, scary guys. And puppets are a way to kind of keep your opponent's board empty while you set up your stuff. Because puppets are like really low costing dudes. They're not like big or anything like that. I know that back in Shadowverse 1 there were plenty of strategies that used puppets because they destroyed themselves at the end of turns. It's like, hey, if this many followers were destroyed, gain this effect. So those decks really relied on like puppets because they would just blow themselves up. But yeah, those are the classes. You got 4 pages of 9 slots for each deck. I have a couple. I have an Earthright deck. Here's my set Swordcraft deck. Yeah. So it's just got like a bunch of like kind of little-ish guys. My whole thing is like basically fill up the field. So yeah, summons a dude. Whenever a dude is summoned, it gains extra power, and then it evolves it, summon a dude. You play this guy with Enhance, which is, you just play it for a bigger cost, which is indicated here, so instead of playing it for 3, which is on the card, you play it for 6. Then you can summon 2 copies of him. It's cool. This is kind of the ace of the deck. 3 damage to all followers, and then this guy can attack twice. And then, you know, you evolve that. Boom. Super cool. Super cool. And yeah, just standard storm guy. Good for the late game, helping clean up and stuff like that. But yeah, yeah, I love the idea of Shadowverse. I think it's just so easy, so simple to learn and play. But yeah, and then of course you got the cool background.
Let us depart.
I don't know why
for
Love
sights
Sign is
unseen.
still here. I have this on random. Yeah. Oh yeah, you get. I'm not sure if you can still get them anymore, but I got like wallpapers for the other leaders, and then I got some wallpapers that I got for cards back at Shadowverse 1. Some of them aren't unfortunately cards anymore, so that is a bummer. And with Shadowverse 1 closing its service down soon, Worlds Beyond is going to be the only way to go. Which I'm bummed for. I have a lot of cool decks in Shadowverse 1. That being a lot of cards from anime characters, specifically from Shadowverse Flame. It's going to be a bummer. Who knows? They could change their mind and they could just keep it up as like a solo player thing and you just go through the stories or whatever. But, you know, not really much you could do. It's their game and IP and at the end of the day. But we still have Shadowverse Worlds Beyond, and if you want to learn the very basics or even just go back and play with some very simple cards with Shadowcraft and Bloodcraft, you can always get the Switch game, Shadowverse Champions Battle. It's pretty cool. It follows the first season of the anime. Sort of. It follows a couple of things of it, not all of it. It's a good way to get introduced to the characters and such. And unlike the anime, Shadowverse Champions Battle actually does have English dubbing, which is great. Because it's got my man Joe Zega in it. But yeah, I think Shadowverse is a really good game, and I will probably be doing more stuff on this. My only complaint is I wish I had something that could run it a little bit nicer, as we saw before. But yeah, I think that will do. Thank you for watching this video. Leave a like if you like it. Duh. Yes, please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and leave a comment, and hopefully you look forward to some more Shadowverse content in the future. Bye-bye!